What's up, guys, and welcome back to Empire Total War, where last week not much happened, to be honest. Well, actually, quite a lot happened, but nothing great really happened. We took Denmark. That was like 2 weeks ago, I think. We then lost Denmark, but we took Stockholm, and currently we're being besieged by the Swedish. We are replenishing our troops in Stockholm, so I'm hoping that they actually do get replenished and don't just sit there for ages, because I do kind of want to try and attack them. Meanwhile, we are building a second gymongous army in London, down here. So we've got ourselves a pretty hefty army getting built that we will then take. We also have a load of ships being constructed in Portsmouth as well. We'll then use those to go over and just help speed up processes of trying to take back Denmark and try and take over Finland, and then we can focus on trying to actually take over Hanover and Württemberg, which is what we've been trying to do for the last like 2 weeks. But it's just these Swedish, they just will not die. They just will not die. But yeah, that's pretty much all that happened last week. We did start making our way towards Bogota to take that. That Columbian fleet is currently still sitting here, completely blockading our entire army inside Antigua. So that's a bit of an issue. And in India, we took Arcot, but we're currently being held inside Arcot by this army, which we defeated. Well, actually no, which we absolutely pummeled with our cannons last week. Murdered a load of them, including all of their camels, and yet somehow we lost the battle, and they continued besieging us. So we will attack them again in the next turn. I think we have significantly reduced their numbers, but yeah, that's still ongoing. I'm just hoping that they don't send one of these massive armies over and join forces with them, because then I don't think we stand much chance of beating them, quite frankly. But if we can get rid of that army without them coming across, then I think we do stand a chance of being able to build and replenish ourselves here before moving somewhere. I'm not sure. Not made my mind yet where to actually head. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought might happen. They have sent more troops. Again, they haven't actually sent that many. They've sent 500, but given that I absolutely pummeled this army, they only have 356 people left, so much less than they started with, and we have well over 1,500. So, although it is quite a balanced fight, right? I'm gonna do this myself, and we'll probably just skip to the end of it, because I think it'll be a pretty one-sided battle. And I think what'll happen is the exact same thing happened last time: is they'll just sit outside and take cannonballs to the face for about an hour. So I look forward to the next 15 minutes of my life, but we'll skip past this battle and hopefully we win it. Right, so we won that. They did actually attack us in the end, but it wasn't much of an attack. They kind of walked up to the walls and then stood there and got bombarded with gunfire and cannons for about 15 minutes, and then they all decided to run away. So yeah, they lost basically everybody. They've only got 58 men remaining. We did lose quite a few. Most of them died because of us. I think there was an entire regiment of grenadiers that basically grenaded themselves and killed about half of themselves. So that was that was a thing. Oh, here come more of them. Wonderful. Right. So it looks like we're gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fight this battle as well myself. So let's see if we can beat them this time. This is a much more balanced fight, but at least they're attacking us, and we've got the fort to defend, so we should stand a pretty decent chance. Great, we're in a bloody rainstorm. So this is Stockholm, apparently. Hard to see what I've got when they're sitting down here, and it's pitch black because of the rain. It's night and it's raining. It's literally apart from that one time I fought in the snow, this is probably the worst visibility I've had in a battle. Right, let's do this. Where are they coming from? This direction. Cool. Right. Man the cannons! Or as we're Scottish, mon the cannon! They're shooting cannons back at us, the cheeky bastards. I'm not sure whether it's worth taking my cavalry out of the city and trying to like flank around and get their cannons and stuff at the back. I might do that actually. I'll just send them away over that direction. Right, so they have made it to the walls amongst the dense forestation that is outside our walls. And they're now looking to clamber up. Make good use of them. Are you just trying to get through the gate? The gate's open! Why is the gate open? Oh, for God's sake. Right, you guys, go help them out. You get in there as well. Oh well. Some of them are already running away, they've already had enough. So this is looking pretty decent, apart from the like completely open gate for some reason. We're actually looking not too bad. Oh, for God's sake, they've done it again. How stupid can you be to just chuck some grenades at yourself? Look, just go and use your swords, for God's sake. At least you might actually be able to use your swords without fucking killing yourself in the process. Like, it would take some sort of special to stab yourself with your own sword. Right, do you want to open the gate? Oh, for God's sake. I don't know if this is like, if there's a glitch at the moment with the game, because this happened in the last battle as well. Whenever we were trying to get through our gates, the gates were closed. But as soon as the enemy appeared, which they have, like as soon as they get near the gate opens. So I don't know if the gates are like glitched in some way where they open for the wrong people, because there's no reason that gate should have opened when the Swedish were here. But it did. And it did it in the last battle as well, when the enemy got close to the gates, they started to open them. But we were trying to get out, and we were just running into the gate, doing absolutely nothing. So I don't know if the game's broken at the moment. For some reason it thinks it's doing it the opposite way around. For whatever reason, I have no idea, but it definitely looks like it is. I've got a bunch of cavalry. And they're still hanging around. They're out of range. This raid is absolutely torrential. I'll just send the cavalry back in again. I think we might. Well, if we can get in the fort, we'll send the cavalry back in again. I'm not sure we can, right? The gate's open, so... Is it? No, it's not. The gate's not open. Although we managed to get out of the gate, we got out here, so I don't know what the deal is with the gates. They're just being really sort of... I'm not sure if they're just being slow to open, or if they're just being dodgy, like they just open half the time or something. I don't know. We've made it to their cavalry. Hopefully our pikemen do their job. Killed their general. Harold Yossi is dead. So we'll look. They're just murdering all their horses. Their cannons run away. They've had enough. Oh, we're running away. Oh, okay, we won apparently. All right, fair enough. Their horses didn't decide to run away, so I don't know how we won that, because they were still standing there. But I'll take it. I'll take it all day. Get rid of the Swedish. So now we can actually focus on replenishing our army in Stockholm. They will probably be back. But if we can build up our army in Stockholm and properly secure it, we can now focus on trying to remove the rest of them. The workers are on strike in Panama. I don't really care. What are you doing? Like, are you trying to sneak past us? Like, thinking that we're not going to notice you? Right, let's just attack them. See what the... Right, I'm just going to... Oh my god! They absolutely murdered us! They had, like... We had almost twice as many people as they had, but they killed 1,500 men and only lost 400. Oh my days. Well, I kind of expected that to be a bit of a much more one-sided fight, but anyway. Well, it was a very one-sided fight, but not on the side I expected it to be. We do have another pretty hefty army up in Christiania, or Oslo as it is now known, that we could send down to Copenhagen. I don't know if there's any... There's no Swedish armies up there. No, there's no Swedish armies anywhere, because we can see all this. So the nearest Swedish army is that one. So we could just walk down here and try and take Copenhagen with the army from Oslo. So I think we'll do that. It's a pretty hefty sized army. It's not the best units. It could be much better units, but it's the best we can put together in this short period of time. Got ourselves some new technology. We've got a strike in Norway. Take all of our units out of there, and suddenly they start striking. But we'll starting to sort itself out again because we have recruited a couple of units over the last turn. But kind of surprising, really. They've been sitting there for ages, not really bothered, and then as soon as we take our army out, that's when they start to riot. So yeah. Anyway, we've made our way all the way. We're going to win. We're going to win, and it's done. Killed all of them. They only had 376 men. We send over 2,000 men to deal with them. So yeah, that's us taking back Copenhagen. Right, who are Hanover allied with? Hanover allies with, oh my god, they're allied with the Austrians. I might try and get an alliance with the Austrians. That way, when shit kicks off, they're less inclined to just go with the other... Alright, they're allied with an enemy. So they're allied with the Muggles. Right, so I can't get an alliance with them. Oh, well that's kind of put a bit of a biscuit in the soup. Don't know what that means, but it's kind of, yeah. I mean, we could still go and attack them. They do have some pretty hefty sized armies. We could still go and attack them and hope to win, but it's less of a guarantee now and more of a, like, a hope. And then even if we do, then the Austrians might come. Although I'm kind of surprised the Austrians are not, like, trying to attack Hanover in the first place. They're right on the border of them. I mean, the Austrians have expanded quite heftily over the last few weeks. They used to just have this sort of area, and now they're all the way up into sort of West Germany. Well, Central Germany. Well, East Germany. Anyway, they're into Germany, so we like they're heading this direction. Soon it's going to be Austria and France, like head to head. Right, what I'll do is we'll finish off the Swedish. Finally, we'll take over Abo, and that'll get rid of the Swedish completely. Then we'll focus on France. We'll forget about taking over Hanover and Württemberg, just because, like, I don't want to go to war with Hanover and suddenly be facing a war with Austria at the same time. So I think we'll just kind of leave that be at the moment and just focus on trying to take France. So what we'll do is we already have a pretty hefty army up here in Milan, which we'll use to attack Turin. We'll also send our army from Copenhagen across here to Amsterdam, try and take Amsterdam, and we'll try and take Paris. That'll leave France, who I think are at war with Austria, because Dresden was French territory last week, which has now been taken by the Austrians. So must be, unless they did it in a trade agreement. Yeah, they're at war with Austria, so this is the only... They're at war with Austria, and the only thing standing in the way of France and Austria being head-to-head is Hanover, Württemberg, and Bavaria. But we do have to deal with the Columbians still. Right, there we go. We've got 3 ships that will be built in 1 turn. We will send them across here. We will pick up our army, and we will take them back up this direction, hopefully, without getting absolutely done in by this Columbian fleet, which will save ourselves this army here, because so far they've been sitting there for about a year in Antigua doing absolutely nothing and unable to leave. So if we can kind of get out of there, this is like our Dunkirk moment. If we can get them out of there and get them away, then we might be able to keep them and fight another day with them and use them to look at taking New Orleans. Because so far we have, like, I think it's probably 1,000 men currently positioned here. Possibly even a bit more than that. 1,500 maybe, currently sitting here. Completely useless! Completely taken out of the game because of that one Columbian fleet sitting there. So, yeah, that's something we'll have to deal with. Swansea! Swansea has been developed. You can be a magistrate. You can be a court. There you go. Right, we'll send all of our bad people, all of our criminals. We'll send them to Wales, and they can live out the rest of their lives in a prison in Swansea somewhere. So if we go and pick ourselves up, how far can you go? Get all the way back there, right? Hopefully. We're best to position this. Is it best to just try and get as far away as possible? Right, I'm going to try and make it to Florida. Hopefully we don't get attacked. Hopefully we don't get attacked on the way. Both of these fleets, I think, could possibly reach us. So I'm hoping that we make it to Florida without getting attacked. And we're then able to use that army somewhere else. I'm intrigued as to how long... Oh, for God's sake, they've blockaded Waterford now. Run away. Run as far away as you can. Right, I don't think they're going to be able to catch us now. Good. Right. Oh, that was close. I was surprised they even allowed us to run away, to be honest. I thought that was it. I thought we just lost that entire army, but we've managed to get away. Literally every place in the map has been raided. So we have a full-sized army, although it could be better, in better shape. They have a lot of people. A lot of it's town guard. I don't know. I think if you add that to that, they might have a full army. I think in a turn, if we can get rid of these guys, we then look like we're free to try and take a ship to Amsterdam with our entire army. And they've got a pretty decent-sized force in Amsterdam itself, but I don't think it's like I think it's enough that we could actually take. I don't think it would be risking too much trying to take Amsterdam. Turin might be a bit of an issue because they have a very large army in Turin, and then they also have more units positioned just beside it as well. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, seriously, mate, you're at peace. So if you could just maybe back it up a bit from the border, I'm not keen on you. I'm not keen on you in the slightest. Look at you and your bloody facial fluff, right? I'm keeping my eye on you. These Genoans, if they think they're going to try something, I mean, they've done nothing but build up force in the last, like, however long it's been since we got peace with them. They've just been building units. So I'm just going to keep my eye on them. Just keep my eye on them. Hopefully they don't take us or try and take us at any point, but I'm watching you. I'm fucking watching you, alright? Next week, we will definitely, 100%, possibly take on France. It looks like it's very likely it's going to happen. Next thing, once we take, hopefully we take Abo. Even if we don't, it's not the biggest thing in the world. I'm hoping that we do secure Abo, and then that's the Swedish done with. We don't have to worry about them. If we don't secure Abo, there's still an issue, especially with this fleet that's currently blockading Waterford. Right, to be fair, that was probably the best thing that could have happened. Them accepting a peace treaty. Because now they still have Abo, which is a bit of a problem, because we could have taken it, which would have been nice to have had it. I don't think we would have gained much out of it in terms of, like, money-wise or anything like that. I don't think it's worth having too much. It would put us right on the border of Russia as well. I mean, we already are on the border of Russia up here, but I don't think, like, they take a long time to get here. It's not too far for them to go from St. Petersburg to Abo, or Abo, or whatever you pronounce it. So I think we would have been in the firing position of Russia. But as it stands, we're in a pretty strong position just having ourselves in Stockholm. But we have no longer to worry about these Swedish fleets. We have our port back in Waterford, so we now have our trade route back. We now make our money again. We don't have to worry about them, and we can now focus on taking France. So that's just one less thing we have to worry about. Apart from the bloody rebels that are wandering around, which we will still have to deal with. But as for the actual Swedish nation, we're now sorted with them, and we don't have to worry about that. So that's probably a pretty decent thing that has happened. Yeah, it could have gone much worse, to be honest. It could have gone much worse keeping going with Sweden. Just them blockading ports and stuff. Especially if we were to just attack France, then they have all their French fleets and the Swedish fleets just attacking all of our trade routes and blockading them all. We could find ourselves with very little or no money. So, as it stands, we're in a pretty decent position, I would imagine. Seems like we are still keeping our foot in India. Just recruit some units, keep ourselves here, and then we'll look at possibly. I'm not really sure where to take, to be honest. I'm not sure whether it's worth going up here and trying to take something, or whether it's better to try and just keep working our way up here. This is a very hard place to take. I'm not sure what the deal is with Hyderabad, but we could potentially go and try and take that. But again, I don't know what the deal is with the number of units. We can't see. What's the unit situation going on up here? See, they've not got much units up here. So it may be worth taking an army, maybe not the full army, but like half an army up here and trying to take over Cuttack or Calcutta. Take one of them, and then we've got a bit of a two-pronged attack on the rest of them. We could then come from the north and come from the south at the same time, and that might be the better option here, rather than just trying to push through them all from the bottom, because they can just position all of their strongest forces along here, and we'd have to then try and fight our way through that. Whereas if they're having to fight, I mean, they already are fighting wars on both sides, which it looks like they're winning this war up here, because they've now taken this place from the Mughals as well. So they look like they're beating the Mughals pretty heavily. They've only got one place left. That's the only place they have, so it looks like the Mughals are really about to lose this battle, which, to be honest, isn't a bad thing, because although we're allied with them, if the Marathas take everything of the Mughals, then once we take everything from the Marathas, then we don't have to worry about the Mughals. So yeah, it's probably a better idea to have forces coming from two directions rather than one. But yeah, that's probably going to end the video this week. So we have had some decent. Well, I'm not sure we've had decent gains. We took Copenhagen back. Pretty much it. We've had some decent diplomacy go on, managing to take Copenhagen back and then getting a peace agreement with the Swedish, which they were more than happy to agree to, because I think they knew that they were about to be ended effectively. So they're quite happy to just hold on to Finland for the time being. We've got ourselves Copenhagen and Stockholm, and we don't have to worry about them anymore. And now we can focus entirely on trying to take over France. So yeah, we managed to, in a great escape, get our troops off of the Leeward Islands, and we've made a bit of an escape up this direction, away from the Columbians. Hopefully, we can make our way back down here to St. Augustine and Florida, and then we can focus on trying to take New Orleans at the same time as taking France and Belgium and Amsterdam and all the rest of the French territory. I'm not sure whether it's worth trying to get a peace treaty with New Granada as well. Or not New Granada, Gran Colombia. Because we're the only people they're at war with. We never asked for their war. I don't know why they decided that we were their next contender for being at war with. So if they're not going to want. Want that. How about you have some general staff? Is that enough? There we go. Right. Even more diplomacy has been done. Who are we at war with now? Apart from the Marathas, nobody. Great. That now opens up a load of slots for us to go to war with people like France. So yeah, now we don't have to worry about these Columbians anymore. We can now successfully get our fleet from here back to Florida without worrying about them attacking us on the way. So yeah, we've don't know why I didn't just try and get a peace agreement with the Columbians before that, but we've got it. how long it will last, I have no idea. They have some pretty hefty units down here. There's a random French fleet just kind of positioned there. But, yeah, I'm not sure why France haven't attacked them either yet. Maybe they will. I don't know. I would have, if I was France, I would have attacked Andalusia. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. It's been alright. It's been an acceptable week. I think we'll try and take the Ottomans at some point in the next week or two as well. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well if you're new around here and want to watch more of my stuff. I do these Empire Total War videos every Tuesday. So if you're wanting to know about that, then yeah, next Tuesday, then tune in and I'll be there for you, waiting for you. So yeah, until then, cheerio.